This is a story about a thoughtful and loving son. He works hard to fulfill his parents' wishes and gets some unexpected help. Taro's reward. A young woodcutter named Taro lived with his mother and father on a lonely hillside. There was a woodcutter whose name was Taro. He was very young, and Taro lived with his mother and father on a lonely hillside. All day long he chopped wood in the forest. Chopped means he cut wood in the forest. Chopped means cut. Though he worked very hard, he earned very little money. This made him sad, for he was a thoughtful son and wanted to give his old parents everything they needed. He earned only a small amount of money from his work. This made him sad because he wanted to make life better for his parents. One evening, when Taro and his parents were sitting in a corner of their hut, a strong wind began to blow. It whistled through the cracks of the hut, and everyone felt very cold. So, one evening, Taro was sitting with his parents in a corner of their hut, and they were feeling cold. Why were they feeling cold? Because a strong wind was blowing. Suddenly, Taro's father said, I wish I had a cup of sake. It would warm me and do my old heart good. Sake over here means a popular Japanese drink. So Taro's father said, I wish I had a cup of sake. Why did he want it sake? Because he will feel warm and it would make his heart good. This made Taro sadder than ever, for the heartwarming drink called sake was very expensive. Expensive means costly. How do I earn more money? He asked himself. How do I get a little sake for my poor old father? He decided to work harder than before. Now, this made Taro sadder than ever. Why? Because the sake was very expensive, and next morning he got up earlier than usual and made for the forest. Next morning, Taro jumped out of bed earlier than usual and made his way to the forest. He chopped and cut as the sun climbed, and soon he was so warm that he had to take off his jacket. His mouth was dry and his face was wet with sweat. My poor old father, he thought, if only he was as warm as I. Now, next morning, Taro got up earlier than usual and made his way for the forest. He kept on chopping the wood for a long time until his mouth was dry and he felt thirsty, but he went on chopping the wood. And what did he think? He thought, my poor old father, if only he was as warm as himself, means as I refers to Taro. And with that, he began to chop even faster, thinking of the extra money he must earn to buy the sake to warm the old man's bones. So, why did he began to chop even more faster? Because he thought if he will chop fastly, he will earn some extra money and he will be able to buy the sake to warm the old man's bones.